Morning, it's Monday the 7th or 8th of March 2025 and up bright and early. I've had to switch all the lights on early because somebody's taken advantage of April, sorry, 7th of April. Somebody's taken advantage of our April shrimp sale. So I'm going to bag up some shrimp this morning. Want to flip the camera as usual and show you a couple of things that I've done or I'm doing. So I still haven't plumbed in the dehumidifier, but what I have made yesterday out of the leftover timber, I made this little rack to fit that on. Now what will happen is, if I just move the camera around, it will fit in here. I need to have a bit of a clear out, and then what I've bought in order to sort of plumb that in, one of these, so it's a 12mm to 19mm or whatever those sizes are, and the one that comes off the back of the AC unit will go into here, and this will tee off into the dehumidifier and out to drain. I don't know how well you can see this, but that's all plumbed in now. So I might put a cap over here just to cover it, but I'm conscious of airflow. And if anybody watched my last video with this sticker, one of my viewers told me that the suitcase actually opens and there's a couple of little food pellets in there. Mint. Weekend plans: get that tank emptied, turned round and set up. Move that guppy tub for now down to here. Move that small tank off there. I might just strip it down and put the babies in with the guppies in the other guppy tank, but the shrimp that is, and then move what's in there down onto the first tank we looked at. I also need to have a bit of a clear out here because at long last we've got our 6 new tanks coming in. Phase 1 complete, so top shelf emptied and the yoga matting. So I use 3mm yoga matting as a base for aquariums. So we've got that done. We've still got to move this tank, this tub. I've got somewhere for the fish in that tub to go. So this tank, this tub, and I've got some more yoga matting. Now I don't have enough, but I do have some other off-cut pieces, so I might end up cutting and taping those together. Let me show you the other tank that I've set up. Ended up reusing that sand and soil that we had before. I've dropped that down onto the bottom. I wish I'd have just used sand, if I'm honest, but it is what it is. It's temporary. Drop that down onto the bottom tank, and I've got room there for another tank should I require. Now the hydrate water bottle is for misting this frog tank, but I'm probably going to end up moving that up here and sort of just covering that up for now. And the guppy tub for now has moved there, but that will be getting moved as well. Tub's empty. I am going to use the soil that I sucked out and siphoned out, so just put that back in just because of its bacterial content. But let's get this emptied and out of the way. So I've got the second shelf cleared. I'm just fitting, I need to cut a piece here, but I'm just fitting the mat. And what I've done is I've fitted it to size, and then all I do, and you have to obviously be careful, is just run a blade down this edge. Now this blade isn't very sharp and I can't find my really sharp one, but it's sort of just giving you guys an idea of how I sort of cut that edge. And then once it's cut, because this edge is a bit rough, I turn it round to the other side. And there it is trimmed. I do need to go along it with a pair of scissors just to tidy that edge up, but I'll flip that over so it'll be the square edge that you see anyway. Cloth tape out, all I need to do now is flip it over so the tape's on the underside. And it may not be the prettiest, but it'll definitely work. It's currently Monday the 14th of April, and what I've done is I've made a bit of a clear out of this end of the room just so I can open the door and get the order in that comes tomorrow. I'm waiting confirmation of that order, but what I've done in the meantime is got my sponge filters ready for those 6 tanks that are going to go there, and I actually ordered 7. And the 7th one is going to go down there or there. Deliveries arrived, so my tanks are in where they'll go. The delivery of Corbo root as well, so there's 6 pieces of Corbo root there, allegedly 30 to 40 centimeters, but there's some big ones. This piece is quite nice. It's more like a stump, quite a heavy piece. But what I liked about it, if I can find it, if I can turn it over, is these hollows. So there's some nice hollows in that one, but it is quite a heavy piece. So shipping will be individual. And then most of them are sort of hollowed out. Some of them are longer than others. Obviously, you can trim those down if you need to. But let's unbox this small order that came in as well. So say small, it's there's a minimum order with this supplier, and I wanted the tanks, so I've had to meet the minimum order requirements, which is it's not expensive, but for a little tiny business like mine, it's not. You know, you need to well, you need to sell a few products, but let's go through this with you. So most of this are the catfish caves and the tube pyramids. So I'm not sure if you've seen those. They're on our website. So the ceramic catfish caves and the tube pyramids. So they're shrimp tubes and stuff. And then what I've also got is an ammonia test for myself, because I'm setting up a load of tanks and that's going to be running out. A master test kit from NT Labs, so that'll go into stock. And then I've restocked on Prime and Stability, which I sell quite a bit of, and I also use, let's say, the majority of these are catfish caves. I'll open one up and show you actually. Catfish caves and shrimp tubes. I do leave them in the box until I ship them, but they're good for pleco breeding and giving your shrimp somewhere to sort of hide. So let me show you these. These are the grey ones. And I've got them in terracotta as well. So it's just a catfish cave for the plecos and stuff to go into, and breeding cave for those. And I'll show you the I'll leave that there actually. I'll show you the other one as well. So these are one of the sets of shrimp pyramids. So these are the rustic ones, and you can get the catfish cave. I've got the catfish caves in this colour. So just restocking on these, really trying to make that order up to the correct value. I'll show you one of those as well. Just got to watch so I don't knock my box off the top. And those are the rustic type, so like a terracotta shrimp cube or shrimp pyramid. So these sell really well. I'll be using some of the caves in my own setups as well. I'll feed these in a sec. Just one thing I've noticed about using the nitrico is because you're sort of forcing the cycle, you get a massive algae bloom, so all the diatomaceous algae and stuff. So the tanks that were done with the nitrico have all got like a brown algae bloom. And this is one as well, what I'm sort of just temporarily growing out some baby apistos in. Now I did nitrico this tank, but I think because of the tannins and the fact that I've got the light on really low, this hasn't had diatomaceous algae forming on there. But bear in mind, this was set up a while first. Excuse them all running around like madness. I've got a skimmer on there at the moment, just temporarily skimming the surface while I get the oils off the top that come from the protein-based fish foods. I'll feed them in a second. And what I'm currently feeding is these Tetra micro granules. So I'm feeding these to the blackwater, both the guppy tanks and the apisto, but I'm giving the apisto baby brine shrimp, hatched BBS as well. These cardinals in particular are like piranhas. Look at them go. And you have to make sure you put plenty of food in, just so that the checkerboards at the bottom and the pygmy cories can get something to eat. But look at those cardinals go. Let's see if I can find the checkerboard for you, or one of them. So there he is down there. Love that fish. These fellas know they're getting fed as well, right up on the top, look. Just a little pinch in the guppy tank. The shrimp get that as well. So there's some cold shrimp in here. So I'm going to keep that one short and sweet this week, just simply because I've got other stuff going on in the room, and what I'm reluctant to do is film around what I'm already filming. Room's too small, and I'll give you a sneak peek. So that's coming in a future video. Take care, everyone. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye bye.